It's been more than 2 months since Strinova has launched, and we're well into its second season. With its unique mechanics enabling characters to turn into paper and transformative gameplay, Strinova had a promising launch as an anime shooter. But here we are. Is the game dead? Taking into account both Steam and those that play through the Strinova client, the player base is anywhere from 8,000 to 14,000 per day, making it a small but tight-knit community. Just for comparison, Marvel Rivals, which came out about the same time as Strinova, averages a concurrent 300,000 players per day. So the marketing at Strinova has been quite lacking and is actually one of the main complaints of the game. But a game doesn't have to be that popular to be alive, and even with its small population, Strinova has a very devoted fan base, responsive developers, and a competitive scene in its early stages. I will say this is my raw, unfiltered feelings of the game, and I am not getting paid for this video. Everything I say here will be as truthful as possible, so if Strinova wants to stop working with me after this, my fault. So knowing that the game isn't that popular, should you still play Strinova? When it comes to the product itself, Strinova is great. It delivers a lot on features that are overlooked in other games. One of the most underrated ones, the social aspect. It starts with the union feature, which players can band together to create a clan. Members gain merit from playing with each other, which in turn can level the union and earn rewards like pulls for skins and other cosmetics. Strinova also offers a friendship level feature, where the more you play with your friends, the more benefits you can have. For example, at friendship level 5, queuing with a friend allows you to share your skins with them. While this feature isn't necessarily groundbreaking, it promotes a sense of community, especially for casual players, to team up and make friends. This sense of community also extends into content creation. Strinova has done a good job giving recognition to those who make content within the space. Recently, they've created a creator program of up to $100,000 to any creator that makes Strinova media, a pretty organic way of marketing the game and supporting the Strinova creators within its ecosystem. And this local support isn't just limited to video creators. Skilled players and pros are given a platform where they can offer coaching to anyone in its Discord. There's also ample support for artists, as they're rewarded with money or in-game premium currency for their involvement in winning art contests. There's even a competition right now to get your fan art directly into the game. However, with all this native support for its creators, Strinova suffers from a lack of reach outside its circle. The majority of the content in this game is just guide and ranked content, which doesn't exactly do well for someone that doesn't know the game in the first place. But I believe there is so much potential for Strinova to reach a larger audience. The replay system is still underutilized for creating content, and when executed correctly, it gets people interested into Strinova. That leaves my last point. How does this game feel competitively? As someone who can't stand playing unrated in any game, Ranked is in a pickle. Currently, Ranked does not have enough players nor incentive to play. Games pop in lower ranks pretty easily at peak hours, but players at the highest rank only manage to play a few games per day because there aren't enough people playing Ranked. This is likely due to Strinova's marketing so far that has been appealing to mostly casual players as opposed to competitive ones. And I mean, I don't blame esports players for not trying this game. Strinova looks really goofy and not remotely competitive.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god.
And they do a less than ideal job at showing professional gameplay. So is it Strinova for this game's competitive lifeline? Well, I have hope. Prior to Strinova's launch, I had a quick chat with the creators behind the game, and it seemed that they very much wanted to turn the game into an esport, and were already having talks of where to host its next major competition in late 2025. And with the first tournament, Mighty Meow Cup, underway, we're seeing the potential that Strinova Esports has, giving birth to some of the craziest clips seen to date.
About to get jumped in, misses the shot. Blexus takes down Bree. Does he takes down a city from Blexus.
Yeah, look at this.
Finds bullets onto Aqua. TP out. Uses a different TP. The TP mind games are faked. He goes ahead. Kato is looking. Kato's blocking the shots. TP goes in again. Can he find the shot? Yes, he can. Blexus!
The tournament has a $2,000 prize pool, which isn't big by any means, but gives us a glimpse as to the possibilities of a competitive Strinova. So what can Strinova do to stay alive? Let's examine the problem. The general consensus amongst Strinova players is that the game's marketing is poor. This thread from 2 months ago accurately predicted its current player base, with many comments saying that the game's advertising is just ineffective. One comment says, "To be honest, I only came to the game from a video I saw on Twitter. It wasn't even an advertisement, it was a random dude showing the Stringify gimmick, which at the moment I thought it was a bug. Other comments suggest that its FPS players and gacha players get confused as to what the game actually is. And maybe it's the ambiguous nature of their trailers that are represented by a slew of corporate music and boring gameplay that drives competitive players away and only invites gacha players. And I mean, with the popularity of titles like Genshin and its anime aesthetic, and Valorant with its kinda cartoony but very competitive game, Strinova should, in theory, be able to succeed. I like to compare Strinova to Fate Trigger, an unreleased anime shooter which launched a playtest in late 2024. It's arguably more Gunner coded than Strinova and was extremely unoptimized on its playtest, but it peaked at 61,000 viewers on Twitch and seems to have a lot of interest behind it. I feel like Fate Trigger did something right with the trailer in showing both a cinematic feel and demonstrating gameplay at the same time. Now, credit where credit is due, Strinova's trailer is equally good or even better cinematic wise, but you don't really know what you're signing up for. For a complicated game like Strinova, I think combining cinematic and gameplay makes for a better trailer that'll be able to convert more people. So what about the people they're sponsoring? Some sponsored content makes a lot of sense and probably converts pretty well. Take a look at this Yugiri cartoon from Simi and Chap Chap.
Wow.
While other sponsors don't make as much sense, like they sponsored Phantom. What? You might think that it's hard to advertise Strinova because of its unique labels, but player content shows an entirely different story. Clips on TikTok and Instagram Reels showing the paper mechanic, or actually competent gameplay, get anywhere from 200k to 4 million views, with comments showing at least some vested interest into the game. Marketing can make or break a product. I care for this game a lot, but there is a lot to improve if Strinova wants to stay alive in 2025. Then, should you get into Strinova? Well, if you find the game fun, play it. Strinova does offer a really unique experience you can't find anywhere else. It combines features we're familiar with from games like Valorant, Overwatch, or even Guns, and scratches the itch for those who have yearned for an anime shooter. There is a valid reason to play games that are more popular because they will have more budget and support to keep the game alive. But I've seen the passion that the devs have for this game. They're listening to community feedback, acknowledging their flaws, and continuing to innovate the game. So if you haven't tried the game yet, give it a go. It might just be your cup of tea.